Young Turks, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. Ben Mankiewicz in for Cenk, as I have been all week. Cenk has been on MSNBC. I think a successful week for him, Anna.
Absolutely, yeah.
Anna Kasparian, J.R. Jackson, Jesus here. Anna with a full slate, as usual, of fantastic stories, beginning with censorship. How would you grade Cenk's performance on a scale of 1 to 10 this week on MSNBC?
A 10. He did a really great job. I mean, considering the restrictions of mainstream media. He
10?
Yeah.
Really?
I thought he did great.
I mean, come on. 10?
He's my boss. He pays me. So.
Right.
I'm just kidding.
JR?
No. I really think he did a great job. I'm not kidding.
Scale of 1 to 10, JR?
I'd give him an 8.
An 8?
Yep.
Jesus?
Yeah, an 8.
8?
All right, fine. I'm changing my vote. 8.
All right, 8. Look at that. Anna got brought down. Okay, I'd give him a 4.
Mean.
No, he did a great job. Okay, so what do we got coming up? We got some censorship. Are we going to do the UCLA student?
Yes, we're going to do a UCLA student who went through leaps and bounds to get higher education.
Right, because he's dedicated and he's at one of America's elite institutions. And if he didn't go through that, he'd have to go to a community college like USC. I'm going to work it in every day. Okay, what's up first?
I want to start with our censorship story, and it has to do with the social media site Digg. It turns out that...
First of all, before I go, you're going to have to explain, and I think you're going to have to explain to a lot of people, what Digg is. Like, you see it on, like, you'll read a news story, and it'll say, dig it, right?
Right.
I don't know what that means. I've never dug anything.
Digg it's a little difficult to explain, but I'll do my best. So what happens is, let's say you write an article or you find an article that you find particularly interesting. What you can do is go to Digg and you can post a link to that article or that video or that audio onto Digg. And what people do is they vote on it. So they can either dig it or they can bury it or vote down, right? And if your article or whatever your link is gets voted down, then it gets buried and people can't see it, okay? It doesn't get promoted to Digg's front page.
And people go to the Digg website, or is Digg on different sites, the Digg voting process?
Well, the Digg voting process can be on several different sites. Like, let's say you write an article and you include a link that says dig it, and people can dig it.
That won't affect where the article is on that site. It will only affect where it is
on Digg's site.
Okay.
Yes.
All right,
so Digg has the front page, and when you go to the front page, it has all of the articles that have high ratings. People have dug them, and everyone can see them and read them.
All right, you've explained it fantastically.
Okay, so let me move on. So there's something known as the Dig Patriots, and it's a group of conservatives that spend an amazingly gigantic amount of time trying to bury articles, links, or anything that has to do with progressives or progressive ideology.
So if they read an article about, say, the Prop 8 decision that Judge Von Walker's decision was sort of well thought out and well reasoned, and here's why, they'll orchestrate this this Dig 'em Smacks campaign.
Yes.
To make sure that that gets buried.
Yeah, to make sure that that story gets buried, and you will not see it on Digg's front page.
Okay.
And remember, they're the Dig Patriots.
Right.
And
sure.
It's this.
I think we played them in high school.
Oh my God, I'm actually okay. They don't like anything that most people would want to be informed about.
Is it?
Okay?
It's dig.com? Is that what?
Dig.com. It's Dig with 2 G's. So I want to give you an idea of what the Dig Patriots dislike. Okay. And this is from the investigation, and the blog that detailed the investigation was found on Alternet, just so you guys know. So this is what the investigation said. There are a few differences of opinion within DP, although for the most part, they are extremely similar in perspective. They hate Obama, they hate progressives, they hate the UN, diplomacy, and peace disarmament efforts. They hate reforms of healthcare, Wall Street, and immigration. They hate science. In fact, many are creationists, and some even blog about it. They hate the secular nature of our nation. They hate environmental protection, requiring polluters to be responsible for their own cleanup, and especially hate climate efforts. They hate unions and any attempt to level the playing field to give all Americans economic opportunities. They hate the government, except the military-industrial complex. They hate abortion rights. They hate public schools. They really hate higher education. They hate anyone in the media except for far right-wing personalities like Glenn Beck, Rush Limbaugh. It goes on. And Michelle Malkin, they love her. They hate anyone who doesn't think Obama isn't a secret Islamist or Marxist who was born in Kenya. They just love to hate.
What do they like? I mean, they don't like people who read. They don't like people who go to school.
They don't like people who read and people who go to school because they understand that those people have the upper hand. Those people have common sense. They have some sort of intelligence. Look, I've said time and time again that the internet is a great place for insecure people who want to get their aggression out. They want to get their anger out. And it's all this like repressed anger that they want to hate and they want to find a forum to hate in. And
they can go to the internet and relieve their stress in other ways. The internet's great for that. Mm-hmm. All kinds of possibilities.
And it's so sad to me that they spend this much time on a website trying to bury news that has a progressive perspective.
Before you get into exactly how they do this, and we'll do this quickly. When I was in college, before the sort of the left had any sort of bite back against the sort of rights media campaign, there were no left-wing radio hosts, and Limbaugh was there, and there were starting to be more and more right-wing hosts, and there was the sort of notion that of the liberal elite on college campuses and the left-wing media and the left-wing college campuses, and I was in college in the late '80s, and I was a little persuaded by it because there was also the anti-political correctness movement, and the notion of political correctness, that you were stifling speech in an effort to promote diversity, seemed un-American. Mm-hmm. Like, okay, I got the idea of promoting diversity, but if you don't like diversity, great, you can say it and you can put it on a T-shirt. When a guy comes up with a T-shirt about the 10 reasons why beer is better than women, which they did at Tufts, you can't throw them out of school. You can't.
That's unacceptable.
Yeah, it's funny.
And uncalled for.
First of all, it was funny. Secondly, beer's horrible.
Beer is delicious.
No, it's horrible. Nobody likes beer. They think they do, but nobody likes beer. Why have beer when you could have like a Diet Coke? But that's a whole other point. But I did think at the time, and I hate quoting myself. I'm not really, but it's interesting that even then, I sort of got the sense that there was something nonsensical in right-wingers complaining about how the nation's colleges were filled with liberals. Mm-hmm. And for that matter, newspaper writers too, reporters. Because you'd be like, so the smartest people are liberals. And I was a little curious why liberals, instead of going, no, that's not true, it's not true. Why not just say, yeah, that's right. All the PhDs, we have them. Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. What does that tell you? Not that, I don't think it tells you that, what it tells you is that you get incredibly educated, you know a lot about stuff, you're like, oh, these conservative ideas don't make any sense. And I'm simplifying it because a zillion conservative ideas make a lot of sense. But I always thought it was a strange argument, and it's exemplified a little bit in that list you read. And I don't know who put together that list. But the idea that, don't, it's the same thing that Limbaugh and Hannity said, don't trust what you read, don't trust what you're taught by anybody else, don't get any information.
Exactly.
Just be afraid.
Exactly.
Hate and be afraid.
And it's very easy to buy into conservative ideologies if you're not educated, and if you don't read, and if you're not well informed in what's going on in the world.
So they expunge. Have they been successful at this?
They've been extremely successful. So what this investigation found was that, first of all, the front page of Digg would have nothing but right-wing news articles. And then all of the news articles that were written by progressives or any type of video or link going back to a progressive website would be buried. You wouldn't find it. And they actually had this online forum separate from Digg, where they would get together and they would orchestrate like what they're going to bury, how they're going to bury it. A lot of them would get banned from Digg because there are obviously certain policies that Digg has that they would violate. So they would get caught and then they would be banned from life from Digg. And then what they would do is they would have these sleeper accounts. They would have other accounts that they could activate as soon as they get banned from Digg.
Right. So I assume that happens on a lot of sites, but not for this purpose.
Right, exactly.
Well, that's fascinating. Although I must say that it's not working today.
It's not working today. There was one other thing that they did that I wanted to draw attention to. So they would also try to get liberal commentators banned from Digg.
Sure.
And the way that they would do that is they would provoke a fight. So they would keep picking at a liberal, and they would keep saying things to like provoke the liberal to say something negative and say something terrible, and then they would get banned for the terms of for violating the terms of service.
Well, you got to be responsible for the thing that you say. But it's interesting that there was this orchestrated effort. Right now, the first story on Digg is oil companies funding campaign to overturn California climate law. That seems like an article that they'd like banned. And it's from Think Progress. So these guys, get on it, get that off the front page. All right, that's interesting. Not surprising in any way. The conservatives know how to organize. I'll give them that.
They do. And just to mention this, Digg has come up with a brand new version. It's Digg 4.0. And this new version gets rid of the bury button or the undig or whatever. I don't know what it's called, but the dislike button, I guess, that would allow you to bury stories.
Oh, so you can it's just a question of
whether people like it or
stories,
not.
right? Yeah. And so the ones that are liked the most.
Exactly. They'll make it to the front page.
All right.
All right. We have an education-related story that I found super fascinating, and it has to do with a UCLA student by the name of Diego Sepulveda, and he's an illegal immigrant who got accepted to UCLA and did not have the money to pay for the tuition. So he decided that he's going to work 3 jobs, and he's going to go to extreme lengths to make sure that he gets the education that he's worked hard for.
An illegal immigrant, he got into UCLA and he wants to work 3 jobs. I don't want that guy in the country.
Oh, terrible guy. He's illegal. Let's kick him out.
Right. He's sucking our resources, that guy.
Yeah. So we have a video.
By the way, if he's in illegally, he is in illegally. I'm just saying that the stereotype of the illegal immigrant is often wrong. Okay, continue.
So we have a video report, and it explains some of the things that he had to go through while attending UCLA.
This is an ABC World News story.
Finally, a young man determined to be the first in his family to get a college education, vaulting over the odds to do it. It's a story with a twist, especially in these political times. David Muir brings it to us.
Ever since high school, I always knew I wanted to go to UCLA, but I never saw it as accessible or affordable or even just a possibility.
Not even a possibility, he thought. And yet at 22, Diego Sepulveda is now a senior at UCLA. He says his parents work in sweatshops in East LA. He worked full-time at Subway and at McDonald's to earn the money.
All my money went to tuition and books. I was walking around hungry all the time. I didn't have clean clothes a lot of the time. I would wear the same thing for maybe 3 days.
On campus, where most of us see labs and lecture halls, Diego also sees a place to sleep.
When I didn't have a place to sleep or when I didn't have a place to go, I started staying in the dorm lounges, in the library.
Or he would come to this student center.
I would sleep on this couch.
Going home means 4 buses and 4 hours.
We've been on the bus and it's tiring.
To that tiny apartment where he grew up.
My sister sleeps on this bed and my parents sleep on this one. This couch is where I actually slept. I love this couch. This couch is like my best friend.
And out back?
And we're going into what I call my backyard. We have a washer. We have to keep it outside because it doesn't fit in the apartment.
Not afraid to show us where he comes from, Diego was also not afraid to reveal something else. He is one of those undocumented illegals we've all been arguing about. His parents moved him here from Mexico when he was just 4.
I can't receive any scholarships. I don't receive work studies. I just want to go to school. I just want to get my degree.
Friends who've watched him work so hard now watch over him. A food pantry and a small room near school now offered to him rent-free.
I've never had half of the room, so this is just like an honor. And I don't
An honor, he says, aware his status is part of a national debate.
No matter what, I'm gonna finish UCLA, and I'm really, really, really optimistic about my future.
An uncertain future, but so was the thought of college when he was young. David Muir, ABC News.
I hate that kid. He's a prick, and I want him out of the country. First of all, what's the deal with his couch being his best friend? What a loser. JR, do you have something to say?
I just wanted to point out,
Here it comes.
USC follows the rules of this country.
Oh, please.
Okay, good.
Wouldn't
Go
allow
ahead.
this
Bring it on. Bring it on.
illegal
Yeah, go
immigrant.
ahead. Give me more of that. Yeah, it's a nice story. A nice story about sort of giving him access to the pantry. Mm-hmm. His house there, his parents' house, looks lovely.
Oh, God, it's so sad. We did a story like a couple months back about a girl who graduated from high school with a 4.0. She was also an illegal immigrant. And she had honors, everything. She was ready to go to college. I forget which university she got accepted to, but she got accepted to a university she really wanted to attend, but she wasn't going to get any financial aid because of her citizenship status. And Jake and I had a debate.
I thought they were draining our resources. I thought they were ruining the education system and the hospitals.
And they're also taking all the jobs that we really want to do.
Oh, wait a minute. He's not getting any financial aid, and he's sleeping on a different sofa every night.
No, unacceptable.
But he
Kick
is
him out.
getting free Campbells from the other UCLA students.
Those free Campbells belong to some of our white students that are citizens of the United States, okay?
Yeah,
Disgusting.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's, we don't just have a bean with bacon soup lying around for everybody. By the way, it's a delicious soup.
Bean with bacon?
Oh, delicious Campbell's soup. Had it many times growing up. No, it's a nice story. But I mean, where's the nonsense about it? First of all, I just flat out don't believe that story. It is almost not that story. I believe Diego Sepulveda. I don't believe him to be an actor. I can't believe his bus ride takes 4 hours. 4 buses or not. That's an exaggeration.
That's what you don't believe? Are you kidding me? You live in Los Angeles. Have you ever taken the bus?
That's a good one.
Exactly.
Have you seen me?
Yes, I've seen you. Mr.
Yeah,
makes fun of me for the $800
Yeah.
a month apartment.
I take the bus. I'm white, okay? I don't even know where a bus stop is. No, I'm kidding. But no, I haven't taken the bus. But no, I took the bus all the time growing up in D.C.
DC is totally... Get out of here. Ben,
I'm just saying, I'm now explaining the other thing. I'm not adverse to, I'm a 43-year-old man and I own a car. So I'm just saying, other times in my life, I took public transportation. Yeah, LA is more spread out. I still have a tough time believing it takes 4 hours every day.
I believe it.
Every day takes 4 hours?
I believe it, yes.
It's going from the east side of LA to the west side. The guy, Jesus, nodding his head. 4 hours?
I took the parts of the subway are the best thing about the public transportation system here. I took that and then the bus. Used to be over here when I lived in the valley, barely in the valley. Took me 2 hours. It's amazing.
Okay.
And the subway's great part of it. So if you're all buses,
Okay, but I'm just saying, but the guy, he doesn't live in Simi Valley. I got you. I'm just saying, again, it's not 4. I'll give him 240, which is brutal because he's got to go back and forth. That's nearly 6 hours a day. It doesn't take 4 hours to get there and 4 hours to get back. He's not spending 8 hours a day on the bus. That's it. That's my whole point. Is anybody going to argue that he spends 8 hours a day on the bus? No. Okay. I've lost all of you now. All right, good.
Says the man who took a bus once in his life in D.C.
No, I took it once. I had to get off halfway. I called my daddy, pick me up. I was really scared. No, I took the bus. I took the bus all the time in high school. But But DC much smaller. It wasn't.
Of course, yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
No, what I don't believe are the stories that they're draining the resources. It's never followed up with any information. I don't believe that the education system is getting ruined by illegal immigrants or the healthcare system.
I know.
The healthcare system, first of all, is a catastrophe in states that don't have a big illegal immigrant issue. So is education, and public education has been headed to catastrophic issues for a long time. The decaying of American cities has more to do with that than anything else. So my hunch is it's not a huge help, but the notion that it's a giant problem that if we solve illegal immigration, thank God our education and healthcare systems are saved. Come on, it's not a big resource problem in any way. It's just it's a giant misdirection on the part of conservatives. And I have one other really, really, really good point. Oh yeah, like that kid, Diego Sepulveda. Like yeah, don't give him a path to citizenship. Because if you give him a 10-year path to citizenship, it could take 10 years. He could have to fill out 1 billion forms. You know what he's going to do? Fill out those forms. He's going to do it. He'll wait. And in the meantime, you know what he's going to do? Work. Work. Work well, get promoted, have good jobs. It's ridiculous.
All right, agreed 100%. There's nothing I disagree with you on, except for the fact that it took him 4 hours.
No, you're right. He spends 8 hours a day. Totally, yeah.
All right, let's take a break.
Do you need documents to sign up for TYT? No. All you need is $10 and you get everything we offer. Go.
Women don't understand.
Back on the Young Turks, everybody. Ben and Anna here, Bank of America manager.
Yes, we can fade the music out now. Thanks. All right. Bank of America manager in Nevada found a creative way to motivate his employees to sell more bank accounts.
All right.
All right. So what did he do?
Okay.
He told his team that if they sold at least 1 sale per week, they would get a snack.
Okay.
Okay. The snack is not specified, but a snack
Okay.
nonetheless.
All right. That's good. That's an incentive.
All right. The second incentive is 2 sales will get you any item from the dollar menu at Burger King.
Really?
Any item. It could be a Whopper. It could be small fries.
Can't be a Whopper.
Oh, a Whopper Junior.
There you go.
Let me clarify.
There you go.
Disastrous. Now, if you are lucky enough to make 3 sales in a week, you will get a nice Chinese dinner at the New York Hotel in Las Vegas. That actually sounds kind of cool. Like, that's the kind of rewards Cenk gives us. Except we don't even get a Chinese restaurant. We get IHOP.
Yeah, there you go. That's I love the fact that it's not. He can't quite spring for the full Whopper.
Whopper Junior, because it's on the dollar menu. I mean,
right, exactly.
A former employee who leaked this flyer that explained the different prizes says that it was tragically funny. And I agree with her.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. I'm going to agree with that. I love it. Yeah, Whopper Junior. But you got to win. you got to make a big sale.
All right. Rihanna and Eminem teamed up to create a song that deals with domestic violence issues. I'm sorry. And we have the music video. It stars Megan Fox and Dominique Monaghan, and they're beating each other down throughout the entire video. Let's put it up. And I don't know, there's not much to say about it except for the fact that it's a difficult video to watch because it's super physical. Let's turn up the audio a little bit.
Just gonna stand there and hear me cry. Well, that's alright because I love the way you lie. I love the way you lie.
I can't tell you what it really is. I can only tell you what it feels like. And right now it's a steel knife in my windpipe. I can't breathe, but I still fight. Well, I can fight as long as the wrong feels right. It's like I'm in flight, high off of love, drunk from my hate. It's like I'm huffing pain. I love her the more I suffer. I suffocate right before I'm about to drown. She resuscitates me. She fucking hates me, and I love it. Wait, where you going? I'm leaving you. No, you ain't come back. We're running right back. Here we go again. It's so insane, cause when it's going good, it's going great. I'm Superman with the wind in his back. She's Lois Lane, but when it's bad, it's awful.
Yeah,
So-
it's a little aggressive.
Yeah, it's an aggressive music video, and a lot of people are giving Rihanna a hard time for it because they say it's a little too violent. But I think that she's bringing up an important issue, and it's obviously an issue that she experienced herself, so she's trying to speak out against it in her own artistic way. So I'm in favor of the music video, and I also want to note that I think this is the first time that Megan Fox has done some good acting.
I don't think Megan Fox is that. I don't think Megan Fox is that terrible.
I don't think she's terrible.
No,
I don't think she's good either.
I don't think she's had anything to be good in. I don't think anybody, when Transformers 3, anybody would have been Transformers 3, and you would have thought, oh man, great job.
She was in the other movies though.
No, that's the only one she's been in. No, but I mean, she hasn't. I don't think she hasn't had really anything to significantly cut her teeth on yet. But I don't know. I read a piece on her in GQ or Esquire some time back, and I don't know. I was sort of moderately. I was just fairly impressed with her attitude, and she seemed to have. But I don't know. I don't know her, so who the hell knows?
I saw a quick headline. Some people were up in arms about it. I think I saw it on like Fox News or something, right? And I was like, well, I hadn't seen the video at all. But there's movies that have stuff that's way more violent. This has at least a message, and she can do whatever the hell she wants. She experienced it, not you.
It's a totally fair point. I mean, right? It's not like Chris Brown's doing it, right? I mean, she was the victim. She gets to do it. She gets a pass. She gets to do whatever the hell she wants.
Right, and her intentions aren't bad. She has great intentions. She's trying to bring awareness to a really serious issue.
Everybody has I totally agree. In fact, it's indisputable. Every song now is a duet. No one does a song by themselves.
Right. No, that's
every
true.
Song is.
Every song either has
Megan Fox with Clark Gable. You know, I say that because I don't know any musicians.
Well, I feel like every song right now, contemporary music, has either Lil Wayne with some female or Eminem with some female. Like, it's always some rapper with some female. And then sometimes it gets a little crazy. Like, you'll have a DJ and some rapper. And and they'll do a little techno rap remix.
Yeah, it just. But I was looking at the top songs on the Billboard charts, and they're all duets, or not all, but it's just about all of them. They're all somebody with someone else. I don't know what that's about, but I don't know enough about music. Am I wrong, JR?
It's gotten out of control, really. But I mean, if anybody puts out an album, the singles will be somebody featuring this person because they want crossover audience.
That's the word.
And they want crossover audience. They want the fans of this one particular artist to hear this music. It's like, oh, he's with them. I want to hear his verse. And it's like one verse, and then all of a sudden, they expect, which I guess it's working because it's blown up completely. Right. It's one of the things that I heard this when Michael Jackson died. They were saying all the contributions he's had to music. He started the whole rapper with a song a R&B song with a rapper interlude part on it.
Like listen to this, Anna. The number one song, "Love the Way You Lie," Eminem featuring Rihanna. "California Girls," Katy Perry featuring Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Dogg, yeah.
"Dynamite," that's just Teo Cruz. "Airplanes," B.O.B. featuring Haley Williams.
Is that song ever going to go away? It's never going to go away. That's it. It's over.
I've never heard it, and I don't know B.O.B. or Haley Williams. I like it. God, I'm old, man. I like it. Enrique Iglesias feeling Pitbull. That's
I love that song.
That's 4 of the top 5. And then there's a Mike Posner song, Katy Perry, and then "Billionaire" is Travis McCoy featuring Bruno Mars. Number 9 is Usher featuring Pitbull. Pitbull was busy. And number 10 is Usher featuring will.i.am with OMG. So like 4 of the top 5 and 7 of the top 10 are somebody featuring someone else. I mean, I think 10 years ago that wasn't true at all. Certainly not 20 years ago.
I can really use a wish right now.
What's
right now.
What's
wish
the
right
wish?
Now. No, that's a song. That won't go away.
Look at that. I don't even know what the hell you're talking about. Is that not a new phenomenon, JR?
It's been happening. It's really gotten over.
I mean,
it's happening. It's everywhere now, and to the point where that's just normal now. People wouldn't even notice it,
All right. Well, Anna, thank you very much.
Thank you.
An excellent hour coming up next. We have
David Finkel.
David Finkel, who's written a very significant book called The Good Soldiers. He was embedded with the 216, the 216th Infantry, the battalion nicknamed the Rangers in Iraq after the surge. And he's written a very unbiased account of just their time over there in Iraq. He'll be joining us. It's an important book, and we'll talk to him about that. Also, Jonathan Kim with another progressive movie review. Plus new information about the Proposition 8 overturned decision. So we're going to have constant new information about that. Young Turks, thanks, Anna. A political hour coming up.
How do you watch movies through Netflix? Well, you...
somebody go get a 6-pack. I can't tell you how good that feels and how good that tastes.
Think about it. Netflix.com/TYT.
All right, everybody, we're back on the Young Turks. Ben Mankiewicz here with you. Thanks to Jonathan Kim for joining us here from Rethink Reviews with his with his review of the movie we just reviewed. No, thank you to Jonathan, and also to David Finkel, who his latest book, The Good Soldiers, available now. Clearly a impressive look, as he spent overall 8 months embedded and 15 months covering the 216 2nd Battalion, 16th Infantry Regiment from Fort Riley, Kansas, part of the surge in East Baghdad. Impressive. So as we all know, Von Walker's decision came Wednesday, overturning Proposition 8 and violating due process and equal protection, and a systematic evidentiary scientific breakdown of the case. And Dahlia Lithwick of Slate pointing out that very clearly, in her mind, Judge Walker catering his decision to Justice Anthony Kennedy on the Supreme Court, because Justice Kennedy has authored the two most significant gay rights decisions in the last 15 years for the Supreme Court: Romer v. Evans in 1996, which struck down Colorado's anti-gay ballot initiative. Judge Walker had 7 citations of that case and 8 citations of Lawrence v. Texas, which struck down the Texas gay sodomy law. And Justice Kennedy, the swing vote, very clearly, says Dahlia Lithwick, and now others have chimed in. Dahlia Lithwick, not surprisingly, the first, or among the first to point this out, that Judge Walker, very aware that Justice Kennedy will be the swing vote, and essentially saying, hey, look, Justice Kennedy, you've already said this. You're so close. This is the next logical step in what you have already said in Romer and in Lawrence. But back in July, U.S. District Court Judge Joseph Toro overturned the Federal Defense of Marriage Act, a decision also cheered by gay rights activists, although less loudly cheered. The Federal Defense of Marriage Act was overturned by Judge Toro on 2 counts. He said it violated the Equal Protection Clause of the Constitution, a similar finding among the many findings of Judge Walker. But his second point is the point that is potentially problematic here. Judge Toro said the law interfered with the right of states guaranteed under the 10th Amendment of the Bill of Rights. And then Jason Linkins does some excellent reporting in the Huffington Post. The 10th Amendment has been so embraced by some ultra-conservatives, especially the Tea Party movement, that it's been referred to as tentherism. People who are excited by something called a tentherism do not have a lot of sex. Tenthers, they have an extreme interpretation of the 10th Amendment. Basically, if I could summarize it, tenthers, who, by the way, obviously have a tremendous amount, the number of tenthers who are also birthers is gotta be like 97%. If you think Barack Obama was born in Kenya, then you have an extreme position on the 10th Amendment. And basically, the tenthers believe that under the 10th Amendment, which says essentially, I'm going to paraphrase, that all rights that we didn't give you belong to the states, that the federal government can't do anything. That basically the role of the federal government is very specifically spelled out, and that's it, which is, and for the most part, they see that as, provide for the nation's defense. The federal government is in charge of the military, whatever you want to do, your Army, Navy, your Air Force, Marines, what a great place. It's a great place to start. But that's it. Like, for example, the tenthers could make a powerful argument, and probably do, that the federal interstate highway system is unconstitutional, that highways should be left up to the states. However, Montana wants to run its highways. That's up to Montana. That wasn't up to Dwight Eisenhower. And however, Florida wants to run its highways. That was not up to Dwight Eisenhower either. That's up to Florida entirely. So Judge Toro, in rejecting the Federal Defense of Marriage Act by saying it's not federal authority there, it infringes on states' rights, which is what he said, used an argument that the Tea Party conservatives loved, and he used the 10th Amendment against them, which there was a great little, as Jason Linkins reports, there was a great sort of twist in there, like, oh yeah, you want your 10th Amendment? Here's your 10th Amendment, and I'm overruling the Federal Defense of Marriage Act, like you want to prevent gays from getting married and you love the 10th Amendment, I'm using the 10th Amendment to say that you can't ban gays from getting married. The danger, of course, is that as this law gets appealed up the line, that ultimately, if you believe Judge Toro and accept that argument that the right to marry exists in the states, well, then that works completely against Judge Walker's interpretation and the arguments that he used to overrule Prop 8 in California. So while celebrating the defeat of the Defense of Marriage Act by using an argument that conservatives, extreme Tea Party conservatives, so embrace the 10th Amendment, you could conceivably be undermining Judge Walker's opinion. It's entirely possible when the Supreme Court takes it up that they consider both of those cases, as now we have two gay marriage issues decided basically here in the summer of 2010. And ultimately, if they work their way up to the Supreme Court's going to have to resolve that. Those who believe in the rights of gay people to marry, which should be anybody who believes in the American way, essentially, better hope that the ultimate decision, whether it's the full Ninth Circuit or the Supreme Court, ultimately takes the position of Judge Walker and not Judge Toro. So think about that over the weekend and impress your friends at parties. And again, thanks to Jason Lincolns of Huffington Post for doing some good research there and pointing that out. So Ann Coulter, while we're talking about gay people, is an insane person. And it'd be great if we could find an insane picture of Ann Coulter to throw up here for those of you watching on the web at theyoungturks.com or on our YouTube channel. For those of you listening, you know who Ann Coulter is. Of course, the conservative pundit and hater of all things good in America. She has been asked to headline a party to celebrate gay conservatives. And that party is called the first annual, JR, you care to take a guess as to what this party is called? The first annual, well, let me give you a hint. Are you familiar with Comic-Con in San Diego? Who's out there? You guys, a bunch of people out there got to know what Comic-Con is, right?
I know what it is,
Bart
but
knows what
I don't
Comic-Con
know the details of it to know how.
It's like where, you know, it's where everything superhero-y is done. You know, all sort of science fiction movies and anything having to do with that, comics, television shows, they all go down to San Diego and they all dress like Klingons and now it's become this huge event to push those type of movies, and it's a big deal event. It's become a big money event. So natural, the party to celebrate gay conservatives, the first annual party with which Ann Coulter will headline, is called HomoCon, or HomoCon. It's the only national organization put on by GOP Proud, or GO Proud, the only national organization representing gay conservatives. Festivities begin in New York September 25th. The gay left has done their best, says the chairman of GOP Proud. Gay left done their best to take the fun out of politics with their endless boycotts and protests. That's right, we're endlessly boycotting and protesting things. HomoCon will be our annual effort to counter the no-fun police on the left. I can't think of any conservative more fun to headline HomoCon than the self-professed right-wing Judy Garland, Ann Coulter. Now, in choosing Coulter, of course, we're ignoring some very hostile remarks she's made about gays. She called in 2007, and I'm going to use some offensive language here, so earmuffs for the kids. Back in 2007, if you'll remember, she called John Edwards a faggot, which I believe we now know isn't true. Earlier this year, she it says here there was the lesbian Constance McMillan. She described her as an irritating lesbian and she called her an irritating lesbian for challenging the sanctimony of heterosexual only proms. But Coulter's selection won't be surprising to many gay rights groups who have pointed out that Go Proud has engaged in self-destructive behavior in the past. Again, I'm reading again from the Huffington Post, a piece by Nick Wing here. Earlier this year, the gay conservative group, this is Go Proud, planned a fundraiser with a guy named Doug Manchester, by the way. He's a California businessman who he gave $125,000 to Prop 8. And then these guys host a fundraiser for him. I mean, what is up with these guys? I mean, this is not log cabin Republicans. These guys are far beyond log cabin Republicans. The guy donates $125,000 to make sure you can't get married, and then you host a fundraiser for him. So anyway, I thought it was amusing that Ann Coulter is going to host that, and I continue to find it amusing. Blanche Lincoln and Ben Nelson, a couple of Democrats, have voted to extend the permanently extend the Bush tax cuts. Who's not excited about that? And that would, of course, massively increase the deficit. Good for them. Tiger Woods, by the way, shot a 72 today, 2 over par, following yesterday's 74. He's 6 shots over par. He's in 75th place out of 81 at a tournament in Bridgeport, Connecticut. the Bridgestone Invitational in Akron, Ohio. 13 shots off the lead. There's no cut, so he'll have to play this weekend. But the troubles of Tiger Woods continue. And granted, we don't do a lot of sports stories, but I find it interesting, and I'm sure others do, at how poorly this guy is playing. It's like he has something on his mind.
Are you a golfer? Not you golf regularly, but
miniature.
I mean,
yeah.
So like you've never you're not the type to play like once a month or anything like that.
No, I there was a time I played like 7 times in a year.
Because I mean, I've played 3 times in my life.
Yeah.
And it's weird with a lot of sports, especially as a big concentration sport and all this stuff. But is it this drastic where it can be this bad from something we know? Like obviously, as you said, seems like something's on his mind.
Maybe.
But for this long.
I don't know. I mean, he's the best. He's incredibly talented. Athletes go into slumps. It's incredibly what's going on inside your head matters a lot. Concentration matters. You're not playing against anybody. Nobody's playing defense. It's just you and the ball and the course. So obviously, guys go into inexplicable slumps in golf. It seemed he was immune from it. Obviously, he isn't. Again, another sports story here, very quickly. No, real quick, I'll do this. I will save that one. It's only going to be very brief. Arnold Schwarzenegger and Jerry Brown have filed motions today to resume same-sex weddings in the state. As expected, they filed motions following Judge Walker's decision. Even though they're named defendants in the suit, they want gay weddings to continue. Right now, Judge Walker still has a hold on his decision. We'll see what he does. The New York Knicks have hired Isaiah Thomas as a consultant. He still coaches at Florida International University, the college. He went 7-25 last year. He was the Knicks general manager for, I think, about 5 years. The team was a catastrophe in those 5 years. They had the largest payroll. They made the playoffs once. He was hit with a sexual harassment suit. He made the Knicks a giant embarrassment around the league. And the Knicks are still struggling. They're still trying to get free agents. They can't figure out what to do. I got a great idea. Let's bring Isaiah Thomas back. I can't think of a decision by a sports team more ill-conceived than the Knicks hiring a guy who, by the way, already has a job as the head coach of a college. This makes the Los Angeles Clippers appear to be a well-oiled machine. So for basketball fans, Isaiah Thomas back in charge, lending his expertise to the New York Knicks. That bodes well. It's been a great week, everybody. Thanks for letting me come back and do this show. I always love doing it. JR, Jesus, Anna. Have a great weekend, everybody. Jenks back Monday.
Calling up Earl on the court phone.